Are you someone who wants to start wearing caps, but you don't know which cap to go for? Or have you tried on a load of different caps, but none of them seem to suit you? Well, if you answered yes to either of those questions, then this video is for you. Caps come in a load of different shapes and a load of different sizes, so finding the right one for you can be really tricky. Some people out there are very lucky, whatever hat they choose to wear seems to suit them. Sadly, I'm not one of those people, so I have to be quite picky with the hats that I choose. In my opinion, caps are a really amazing accessory to utilise. They can take a really simple or boring look and make it look a lot more interesting. But although a cap can make an outfit, it can really easily break an outfit too. So it's important to get it right. But I'll go through all the different styles of caps and we can work out which one is going to be best for you. I'll also tell you my recommendations on where to get your caps from, and I'll leave all the caps from this video down in the description below. Also, if you like this video at any point, please feel free to drop it a like. And now that's all out the way, let's get into the caps. So the first cap that we're going to talk about is the low profile cap. So a low profile cap generally has a crown height of 3 inches and below. These caps normally come with a pre-curved peak or bill or rim, whatever you want to call it, and they sit really close to your head when you're wearing them. These types of caps are really popular right now, so they're really easy to get hold of. Most stores sell them. And there's two main styles that these caps come in, structured and unstructured. So let's talk about unstructured first. You can always tell an unstructured hat because as soon as you take it off your head, it has no shape. The material doesn't stand up. And the dad hat, which you've all probably heard of by now, is a really good example of this. So if you're a dad, or you just want to dress like a dad, or you like wearing your New Balance sneakers, then this may be the cap for you. Now the benefits of an unstructured hat is they can take a bit of a beating. You can play sport in them, they don't lose their shape over time because they don't have any shape, and you can throw them around, chuck them against walls, whatever you like to do, and they're going to be just fine. Now even though these are not my favourite style of cap, most people can pull them off, and if you do have a smaller head, then this might be a great option for you. As these types of hats sit close to your head, it doesn't look like you've got a hat on your head that's swallowing your head. I can't explain it any better than that. I hope that makes sense. They don't look like they're engulfing your head, basically. Let's move on. Now the next style of cap we've got is the structured cap. So the style of this cap is the same as the last cap, but as the name suggests, it's got structure to it. Now these caps have a firmer crown, and when you take them off your head and put them down, they still have a shape to them, so that's the easiest way to tell. Some people prefer these styles of hats over the unstructured hats because they give off a smoother finish when you're wearing them and a bit of a cleaner look, but it depends on the look you're going for. The downside of a structured hat is it can lose its shape more easily, mainly because it has a shape to lose in the first place, but it sits so close to your head that you don't really need to worry about it. I also think because these hats sit so close to your head, that they suit people who suit a shaved head really well. The next style of cap we've got are medium profile caps, and these are the styles of caps that I normally go for. So a medium profile cap is normally a cap that has a crown height of between 3 and 4 inches. I like my caps to have a crown of between 3 and 3.5 inches, mainly because I'm very fussy. These styles of hats give a bit of height and a bit of shape to your head, but not too much, they still look sleek. And just like the last types of hats, these also come in structured and unstructured. If you're someone who looks better with a bit of volume on the top of your head with your hair, so you don't look so good with a shaved head, but you look good with a quiff, for example, then these styles of caps are going to work really well for you. Personally, I like a 5-panel cap in this style, where the front panel comes together to form a point at the front of the cap. So that's what I generally look for with my caps, a point at the front. If it doesn't have one of those, I normally don't buy it. You can also get a 6-panel cap where there's a seam down the front of the cap. Normally these styles of caps are more rounded and they have a smoother finish, so if you prefer that kind of thing, then a 6-panel cap may be the best option for you. But yeah, a 5-panel cap basically means it has 5 panels, and a 6-panel cap means it has 6. So pretty straightforward. But I feel the medium profile cap is the safest kind of cap to go for if you don't know what to go for, because they suit most people. They're kind of like that middle ground cap. And if you want to add even more height to your head, then maybe a high profile cap is going to be the best option for you. Now these caps usually have a crown height of 4 inches and above, and they're structured. The New Era 5950 is a really good example of this kind of hat. Now personally for me, these are a little bit too high, but some people can pull them off really well. I also feel like these hats are the most casual out of all the caps, and they're definitely the hardest to dress up. But if you're someone with a bigger head, then this cap could work really well for you because it has more depth to it. And if your head is on the smaller side, then I would advise that you probably avoid this style of cap because it can make your head look smaller. So the next style of cap we've got is the trucker hat. So trucker hats are normally structured and they come in all the styles that we talked about above. So you can get a high profile, a medium profile, and a low profile trucker cap. And the best way to tell a trucker hat is that mesh finish around the back of the cap. But I do like a trucker hat, I like the look they give off, and I think they're a great option in the summer because they allow some air to get to your head. Next up we've got the camp hat, which is a 5-panel cap, and this normally gives off a bit of a boxy and square kind of look. Now these are definitely one of the most easy hats to spot, and although they are made up of 5 panels, they're not made up in the same way as we talked about earlier with the point at the front. They have a smoother and squarer finish to the front of the cap. I feel like these styles of caps are normally worn by skateboarders, people who are into workwear and gorpcore. I personally think these caps give off a more casual look because they look like the type of cap you're going to wear if you're ready for action. In my opinion, they're one of the hardest styles of caps to pull off. Some people pull them off well, but they don't really fit my style. I'm not one of them. Okay, so what about the peak of your hat? So if you've got a smaller head, then I'd advise you go for a cap with a more rectangular peak, just like the one I'm wearing, because some of the rounder peaks can go outwards and make your head look smaller. And if you don't have a smaller head, then you can wear either. I'd say my head is on the medium to large side, and I actually prefer wearing a rectangular peak. I just think it suits me better. But try out both and see which one works best for you. And when it comes to curving your hat or leaving it flat, you've probably guessed it by looking at what I've done with this one, but I like a slight curve. I think a flat peak can look a bit too harsh and a bit too rigid, and it doesn't follow the contours of your face. And when it comes to the back of your hat, which style is best? So you've got the fitted hat, which is what Fred Durst rocked in Limp Bizkit, and these do give off a really clean finish, but the only downside is you have to know the size of your head because you can't adjust them. And then you've got snapbacks, which you can adjust, but only to the size of the holes that are provided, but I've never had any problems with them. Then we've got my favourite style and the style that I would recommend, the strapback. You have full control over the size of these, and they give off a higher quality finish in my opinion. I also love having the option of having the strap poking out the back for some extra detail in your outfit, like you can see here. Of course, you can tuck it in for a cleaner finish, but I like to have mine hanging out, and if you've just joined the video there, this is probably going to sound quite dodgy. Then you've got Velcro and elastic straps, which are probably my least favourite. I think they can look a bit cheap, but it's not going to put me off buying a hat if I like everything else about it. And when it comes to the front of my cap, whether I like a plain cap or a cap with some text on it or a design on it, you probably guessed it already, but I prefer a cap with something going on it. So I normally look for a cap with some writing that goes across the whole front of the panel, or a design that goes across the whole front of the panel. Because I dress quite simply everywhere else, this is a place where I like to bring a little bit of detail to my outfit. So when it comes to buying caps, End Clothing have a wide range of caps, all varying in price. You also have Mr. Porter and Farfetch if you want something a little bit more high-end, a little bit special, but these are going to cost you a little bit more. ASOS has a load of affordable caps on their website, and also the Hip Store is another great place to look at. And if you're into skatewear, then Route 1 and Flat Spot have a load of different caps, all great quality for a really decent price. And if you're a golfer, then Fine Golf Collective have some really nice looking caps. And if you don't play golf like me, then you can just wear the caps anyway and pretend you do. And also you've got Ebbets who do some really nice looking caps. If you're into your baseball caps, then definitely check them out. And New Era, can't go wrong. But I'll leave a load of links in the description below along with all the hats from this video, so check out the description box. But I think I'm going to end it here because I could go on forever. I wanted to provide enough information in this video so you know what to look out for, but not too much where it gets a bit overwhelming, and I think we've covered quite a lot. If you learned anything or you enjoyed this one, then please feel free to drop it a like. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See ya.